Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with Invincible Season 2, Episode
Mhm.
number 1, A Lesson for Your Next Life. IMDb gave this an 8.4. Man, let the Swiss cheesing start because this joint
Yes.
here, man, I mean, we were just talking offline, and I was just like, if you look at the boys, right? I
Mhm.
mean, they just like people are like getting sliced in half, heads are coming off, arms, fingers, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so imagine doing that in a live action and now having the creative freedom to put it in
Mhm.
animation.
Yeah, because I've read the comic book, so I'm
Hmm.
like deep into the comic book, and this show is a drop in the bucket to what's coming. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
And this show is crazy. The comic book is nuts, and the show I think the show fixed a couple things. And like they're trying to do the narrative because they're skipping chapters, they're jumping forward and going backwards.
Hmm.
But the comic book is nuts, and I'm glad I right after I saw the first season, I started reading the comic book. I was like, "Yo, what the hell is this thing?" Because I never even heard it before,
Hmm.
and I picked it up. I was just reading through this thing. I'm like, "Oh my god, this story is crazy!" Because it's an interesting story about
Hmm.
son and father take over the world. Like that's a great story. Like where are we going with this?
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Everything it's a real cool storyline. I love the show. I like all the actors. They fixed Amber, the girlfriend. They
Yeah.
fixed her. They
Hmm.
made her a little better. Like she was awful, man. That
Yeah.
first season, she was the worst person on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel bad for her because she's black, but like, yo, she was the worst person on that show.
So when we started watching it, like for the first season, I guess we were able to watch all like 8 or 10 episodes up front. So now Amazon is giving it to us episodically, week by week. It's just like,
Mhm.
really,
Yeah, yeah,
Amazon? Got to wait
yeah. I know they should
another week
drop the
for
whole
this. I'm
thing,
like,
man.
so it's no, we're
It's
not
a
gonna.
hit.
It's a hit, you know.
You don't have to
S-
worry about the hours to watch. It's a hit. Everyone's gonna
right.
watch it. Like,
Everyone's gonna
just
watch
go.
it, right? So this is just the first impression we're gonna do today, and we may come
Mhm.
back midpoint in the season to do another review, and then we're gonna give like a follow up on the entire
Yeah,
series,
yeah,
season number 2. So right
yeah.
now, season 2, this first episode, I really like it. I do like
Mhm.
this. This style of animation is very bright. It's almost it's I don't know
Yeah,
if it's old school, but it's so bright. It's so it's not. It's there's nothing sort of technologically advanced about this anime. Would you say?
mhm. No, no, it's like it's straightforward, it's bright, it's colorful, like,
Yeah.
it's nice to look at.
Yeah.
The characters look nice, they're not, like, messed up or proportionally or whatever. Like, they got normal sized heads, like, it's a nice thing to look at, right?
Yeah.
But really, you're watching because the storyline is fascinating.
You
It
know.
is very interesting. And
I
I think
mean,
that's the big draw is what the hell is going to happen? Because yeah, people don't know anything about the comic book, have no idea what's coming. And that's all I'm gonna say. It is great.
all I know is if you're gonna watch this, get ready for the blood because there is a lot of
Oh
it
yeah.
in every
Oh
episode. Forget it.
yeah, people getting smashed together. Yeah, and
People.
that Angstum guy, he is a problem. That's all I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
say.
so
He's gonna be a problem.
okay, so he wasn't killed, right? So he survived and one of the twins survived. Um
Yeah.
so
So
he
he took all
has
the memory from the thousands of themselves from all these
mhm,
other universes,
yeah.
and he put it into his giant brain now.
It kind of
He's got
reminds
the
me
different versions of himself. He's taking all their memories,
right.
all their experiences, all the plants they've gone to, all that stuff, and he's just joining it all together in one person.
But he can time
No,
travel.
no, he can't. No, he just jumps between universes. He can't time travel.
Okay, so
He
he
can
jumps
only
through the
go between the
universe.
universes.
So that feels
Yeah,
a little bit like Loki, how they, just he's time
yeah, yeah.
slipping
It's
or,
the same thing. He's
it's the
he's
same
jumping
thing.
between universes.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. So he's getting all the experience, all of the
Mhm.
advances when it comes to technology from these other
Yes, that's the
universes
interesting part about it. He's
coming
getting
back to
all of the
Earth.
advances. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And how he
I'm gonna say this: this
right.
dude's gonna be a problem. Based on what I know about the show, he's gonna be a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Is Nolan coming back?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah, yeah.
it seems like for Mark to be invincible, man, he's got to get stronger, man. He's like getting beat down sometimes.
Well, that's the part of the Vulturmite thing, their genetics, whatever. Like it takes years to get stronger or more powerful.
Mhm.
So he's still a baby. Like he just got his powers like a year ago, whatever, 2 years ago. Like he doesn't even know what he's doing yet, and he's fighting big dogs that have got their powers for 40 years,
Yeah.
100 years, 200 years. Like that's no good. He's not ready for prime time yet because
Yeah.
his dad
So
has to be like 1,000 years old or something like that. Like
wow,
his
he
dad's
looks
old.
great for 1,000 years old, dude. For real.
His dad's
you
old. That's the whole thing about that empire.
mhm. You think
The
he's
older you
gonna
get, the more powerful you are.
right? You think he's gonna go off to college? It doesn't make sense for him to go off to college, right?
He's gonna be busy. I'll put it like that.
He's gonna take a gap year. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
It's a long gap year.
yeah, for
It's
real.
gonna
You
be
know,
long.
he
Yeah.
wanted to go to college to be with his girlfriend. Now his girlfriend has absolutely no powers, right?
Yeah. No, she don't have power. She's just annoying.
But you know, I remember in the first season there was another girl who didn't know she had powers, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Wow, I have these powers," you know? So
Yeah, yeah.
you don't necessarily know you have powers right away, correct?
No, no, because with him, he didn't know he had powers. Like he just knew his dad was a superhero.
Right.
That's it. I don't think that happened. I think with Eve. I think. Are you talking about Eve?
The black girl,
She
this black girl, or
no,
from
but
last season. Yeah, right, exactly.
yeah, yeah. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have any powers. She's just a regular human.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're not
man.
even supposed to be together. He's supposed to be with Eve. Like this gets more complicated, right?
What do you
They're wasting time with their like he's supposed to be with Eve. That's his girlfriend
now I know
or
you bubbled
wife.
up on the actual comic book. So what do you think about the writing? You think they translated this to animation really good or what?
Yeah, yeah. Because the people who are involved with comic book, they're doing the show. Like they're involved in the process
That's
of the
the
show.
way you're supposed to do
And
it.
it's so much better because of it. And he's it's Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead. He's the one that's in charge of the show. And basically, I think he's fixed some things
Mhm.
that were in the comic book and made it more streamlined and more efficient for telling the story. It helped. I think the story is better in the TV show versus the comic book. The comic book is it's going on for a long time, so like there's a lot more storylines in the comic book that we haven't gotten to yet. But they've done a really good job converting what the comic book into the TV show.
Yeah.
I would say that, in my opinion. And a lot of people could be like, I don't know, I don't like it. But like for me personally, I think they did a really good job.
So, you know, in between season 1 and season 2, they did release a sort of mini movie, and it's Eve
Hmm.
with superpowers.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
called
Eve's a
Invincible
beast.
Eve or Eve Invincible or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Eve is a beast. She's a problem.
Okay, yeah,
She's nice.
she smiles a lot. She laughs a lot. You know, she loves beating people down. You know, she just laughs the whole
Yeah,
nine.
yeah.
It's crazy, man. You know, so Mark and Eve used to date, right?
No, they're going to date. They haven't dated yet on the
Oh,
TV
okay.
show.
Mm.
They're a couple. They have a kid. Like this, it's the whole thing. They're wasting time. Just get to it. I don't like for when I'm watching comic book movies or anything. Everyone's like, Peter Parker and what's the name? Damn. Anyway,
They should
like
just get
you got a
together.
couple.
Yeah.
When you got a couple, you're supposed to get
Mhm.
together. Just do
Yeah.
that.
Just do
Stop
it.
wasting everybody's time. Just do
Yes,
that.
stop making
It's annoying.
movies about them maybe potentially linking up. It's just like, who cares about this stuff, right?
No, no, get to it, get that story out of the way, and just get going because other stuff's gonna happen. So, like you got to wait for this stuff to happen before the other part of the storyline can happen. So, like they're, I think they're dragging it out. That's the right word. They're
Yeah.
dragging it out longer than it needs to be, and then jumping back and forward in the storyline so where it doesn't overlap, which is fine because the show is still good. Like the writing is great,
Yeah.
action is great, everything's good, but
The
they need
it's
to kill
solid.
this thing right here.
Yeah. It's, you know, you're so right. The writing is really solid. It's again, this is season 1 was like banging, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
very difficult. Very difficult to nail. And I know we're only one episode in, but it's very difficult to nail the second season. For the second
Mhm.
season to be as great as the first season, that's kind of difficult a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
Picard didn't
yeah,
really get it
yeah.
right. At least I thought so in the beginning. Then when I watched it again, I was
Like
like,
I still haven't watched it yet.
yeah, I was like, oh, the season two was kind of, you needed season two, even the way it flowed and everything,
Mhm. Yeah,
but
yeah. I gotta watch it. But you're right.
mhm,
The second season kind of makes or breaks what the tone is going to be for
yeah,
shows. A lot of shows,
mhm,
and Star Trek in particular, like they took 3-4 seasons before they got into the stride of what the show was.
yeah,
And I I think Invincible has such a fan base, and people know where the story's going already. So it's just more just doing it. But I like how this show's going. I think it's good, and it be prepared, man. It's gonna be some blood in the screen, man. That's
yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
It's very interesting because like again, we know what season one was all about. Just cats getting Swiss cheese, sliced in half, the whole nine, right? They
Yeah.
started off season two just like that. It would be
Mhm.
ridiculous for them to sort of slow down, right? They have it has to go up from this point
Oh no, it
forward,
only
right?
goes up. It
Yeah,
only goes up. But
it only goes
Mark
up.
is gonna get beat to a pulp a couple more times. All right, I'll put it like
Oh,
that.
really?
He's gonna get bodied a couple more times. He's he's not nearly strong as he needs to be.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, he's gonna be in the hospital for a bit.
What about so his mother has no superpowers at all.
No, no, she's just regular human. But like the way I explained it in the show, and the same thing in comic book, is that the Vulturemite DNA is so powerful that them being in another species instantly turns them into Vulturemite. Like instantly, they're like 99.9% Vulturemite, no matter what species it is. If they breed with somebody else, they're gonna be 100, like 99% Vulturemite, no matter what. So that's how
Wow.
powerful their DNA is,
Damn.
and so like he's gonna take that and leap forward from his dad soon. But like that's the whole point. His DNA is strong. I love the concepts in the show, man.
Okay, man. This is like, you know what? For you to even sit down and create, like think about
Mhm.
like to write a
Yeah,
story like this, you'd have to be on some, maybe you're like, just on some LSD or something like that, to even think about
yeah.
writing something like this, where
Mhm.
you start off Swiss cheese and people, it does not end. There is never a break in between these. If again, season one, there was never a
Yeah, there's
break
no break.
where there was no episode where no one didn't get Swiss cheese. So again, with season two,
Yeah.
they started Swiss cheesing. It's only gonna go up. It's only gonna go up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially what's coming, because the Vulturites are coming to Earth, and it's gonna be very enjoyable. I gotta say that. And
Really.
he's gotta fight like a no, it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's got a bunch of stuff he's got to do, man.
Okay, man. I gotta get me
It's
some
it's
more
fa- it
cognac
is
then for real.
fascinating, man. I'll put it like that.
Wow.
I couldn't believe how much I was engrossed in the comic book, because once after I saw the first season, I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Let me see what this is about." I just kept reading and reading. And I was like, "Wow,
Mhm,
this is insane." Like, he was just basically, it's kind of like Superman, I guess, like the storyline, because
mhm.
a superhero comes to Earth, he's saving the day, whatever, and yeah, it just takes a hard turn to the left, and it just this just gets raw right there. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff you're not expecting, that's one thing that I liked about it when I was reading the comic book and watching the show,
Mhm.
because I didn't know anything about this before, and I wasn't expecting any of this stuff,
Yeah.
and I like that. It's like everything's so a copy of a copy, and everything you just expect it to happen. You're not expecting anything to happen in the show, and I
Yeah.
think that's great.
This is really good for Amazon because, like I said before in one of our other podcasts, that when you go to the Amazon app,
Mhm.
and I mean, Amazon does such a poor job at promoting their own content.
I
There is
agree.
no way.
I agree.
This is okay. This is their new show. When you go to the
Mhm,
Amazon Prime app for videos, right? They don't even
mhm.
show this. They're asking you to sign up for other subscription services so they can get a little
Yeah,
piece of the
yeah.
money, and I'm just like, but where's your
Yeah.
content? Where's your content? So it's
I
just
don't
like crazy.
Jeff Bezos needs to get on people's he needs to get on their neck and be like, "Go fix this." Because
Man,
like you log into
he's in
Amazon,
Miami,
and
dude.
Amazon's telling you all the new shows, all the new movies. They're advertising it. They've got a little trailer. They let you know when it's coming out. They like basic stuff that you should do.
Yeah,
Because a lot
Netflix,
of people like
Apple, all that.
Netflix, Apple, same thing with Apple. When you log into the program, it shows you what's coming up, where it shows you what's on right now, what's popular.
This is
You have to
us.
search for this.
Yeah.
Amazon, this is ridiculous. I don't understand the logic. I
And
don't
this
get it.
is and this is an Amazon original. You would think that when this came out, dude, you know what?
Mm,
And you know how I found it? First of all, I saw like the trailer on YouTube, and then I
mm.
saw when it was going to come out. When I went to Amazon Prime, I had to like search for it and then like save it, add it to my list. They didn't, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
even up
yeah.
front. It's like, this is your stuff. This is an original Amazon show. You should be promoting the heck out of this joint, and they don't even do that. So,
Yes.
Amazon, you
I
got to
don't
get
get
better with that
it,
for real.
man.
I don't
Get
even,
better, man. Fix
yeah.
it.
And it's like, you kind of, they're giving it to you because I'm really paying for Prime just to get stuff off of like
Yeah,
Amazon,
it's free. It's basically free because I got
Yeah.
Prime service. So
Yeah. So
I buy stuff every month. So I'm like, it's worth it. I'll just keep playing.
it's kind of sad, man. So this first episode of Invincible season 2, you're definitely feeling it. This is something we're gonna like. We're not gonna review this episodically, but we're gonna come back
Mhm.
midpoint, and then we're gonna like wrap it up when everything is done because Amazon is feeding it to us episodically for some
Yeah,
reason. I
yeah.
don't know
I'd say
why.
like five shows in, we should do the next show.
Yeah,
Four
for
or five
sure.
shows in.
Yeah. So
And yeah.
come back after 5 shows. We'll have a midpoint review, and then we'll take it from
Mm,
there.
yeah.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.